Animal lover and as the only vegan in the state legislature. I'm honored to work with so many of you on animal welfare issues. As we know, California's cat and dog population growth is greatly outpacing our public shelter system's ability to respond to it. As more and more animals show up at shelters in need of help, shelters have begun turning to drastic tactics in order to manage the influx. And they don't necessarily want to have to do the things they're doing, but they're overrun as well. As a state that loves and values its companion animals, we cannot remain complacent as they suffer from our failure to prevent pet overpopulation. We have to make that very clear. This is not the fault of the animals. This is our fault for allowing this situation to become as bad as it has.
Yep.
It is our responsibility to pursue solutions at every level of government, certainly here at the legislative level, such as supporting critical spay and neuter services. I've authored different pieces of legislation with a number of organizations, including social compassion legislation that you'll be hearing from Nick in a moment. One thing that we were able to get done is a resolution, ACR 86, a resolution a resolution that encouraged state, local, nonprofit, and private partners to develop and fund high-volume spay and neuter services across California. And it also prompted the Veterinary Medical Board to encourage out-of-state veterinary professionals to register to practice in our state. We definitely need more practitioners. Another couple bills that I introduced, one was AB 240, a bill that would have required pet food manufacturers to pay an annual fee for each of their dog and cat food labels. These fees would have been used to fund competitive grants and allocations that eligible shelters and nonprofits could have used to support their spay and neuter services. And AB 2133, a bill that would have allowed trained, registered veterinary technicians to perform cat neuters under the direct supervision of a licensed veterinarian.
Nice.
Now I say that's what they would have done because neither of them made it to the governor's desk. And so I'm sorry to say that, however, we don't give up.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to our beloved animals and these sweet animals that by no fault of their own are in such dire conditions and situations, whether they're out in the streets or in our shelters. When I was on the city council in San Jose, I was very proud that we made our shelter a no-kill shelter. However, since then, because of lack of resources, it's been hard for them to maintain that standard. I know a lot of you have worked on that at your different shelters around the state, and you should be proud of that work. Now it's time for us to make sure we can not just maintain it, but surpass it so that no animal is euthanized, that we don't lose any animals at all, and that we should ensure that spay and neuter programs are prevalent, because it's not only the morally correct thing to do, which we all know it is, it's also the cost-effective thing to do. It does save money, and so we have to, when we do animal advocacy, we have to kind of hit it from all angles. Sometimes you hope that the compassion for the animals is the way that you can, get your point across, and sometimes it's the money. It's like, look, our cities, our counties, the ones that run the shelters, our nonprofits are struggling because they're overrun. If we invest more in spay and neuter today, we save a whole lot of money later, and we reduce suffering. That's a win-win in my book. So let's all work together. Let's all work together until we can make it a reality that none of our animals are killed, none of our animals are euthanized unnecessarily, and that our shelters have the resources they need, our nonprofits and our rescues have the resources and the partnership they need